What's going on, TikTok family? How you guys holding up? It's been a minute since I've gone live on here, but it's Saturday, and before I officially get my day going, I just want to say what's up to the world. Hopefully everybody's doing great. Hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. At the end of the day, I'm just thankful to be alive and well. Hopefully you guys are alive and well and doing the best you can in this life, enjoying the best, enjoying every single moment you have with your friends and family, and going from there. So the main reason why I came live today because I was just watching a YouTuber, great guy, name is known as Mike TV, and I love the fact that he was being honest and transparent because we live in a world where people, especially in the social media world, we live in a world where everybody wants to go out of their way to be as fake as possible. You know, pretend like they're the biggest baller on the planet. You know, I mean, heck, if you even look at the idiots of Fresh and Fit, you know, and people that are like that, you know, this whole douchebag mentality, this whole I'm better than you mentality when you're just as basic as anybody else. You know, the lack of humbleness in the up and coming generation, because my generation was bad in that aspect too. But I noticed that now not a lot, a good chunk of the I say probably 30-40% of the 20 somethings that are in today's world, they have more of an arrogance and conceitedness about them, whether they're the sports people, I mean, whether they're jocks, quote unquote, whether they're considered the weirdos, whether they're considered the nerds. Everybody has a pompous, arrogant attitude more than ever before nowadays. And I've noticed that. So to see somebody, and like this guy, Mike TV, great channel. I'm not knocking him. He inspired me to go live on TikTok today because, you know, he's like being 100% transparent about his lifestyle, how he became homeless and how he's going to bounce back. And he hasn't let it break his spirit 100%. So I think that is pretty cool. But the main reason why I'm going live today is just be like, a lot of times at the end of the year, a lot of people, you know, get into the mindset of, hey, I didn't get this done this year. I didn't get that done this year. This didn't work out, blah, 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 blah. A lot of times people don't do enough of saying, giving themselves a nice pat on the back of saying, hey, you know what? I didn't do X, Y, Z, but I did do this and that and the other. I did get this accomplished. I slacked off here, but I improved here. Every year, every day, every second of our lives, we have a chance to slack off or we have a chance to improve. And I've noticed in most of the major metropolitan areas, I can't speak for small town America because the population, they call it a small town for a reason. The population is much smaller, so the data is always going to show that, hey, there's going to be less poverty, less homeless people, less crime because they have less population. Where I grew up at in the DMV area, the population has quadrupled since the pandemic. And I thought that during, you know, before the pandemic, I mean, during the pandemic, things slowed down a little bit. You know, people weren't as moving around as much. A lot of flights were canceled. You know, we were grounded for at least the first couple of months. Well, during, what was it, basically from March to the summertime of 2020. But now that the world has transitioned back to the quote unquote what people perceive to be more normal than where we were back at that time, I've noticed that now that more and more people are moving freely, that you have more and more people that are actually living out on the streets. Homeless population has quadrupled, and the fact that he was talking about this, how it happened for him, because the thing is, and this is why people need to humble themselves, because even the fresh and fit crowd, they monetized by YouTube. Uh, Thanks for. I'm not taking requests, so please don't try to join my live. I'm here to talk and rant. Okay, but thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. But anyways, so at the end of the day, people forget because, you know, especially in the social media world, I guess people aren't hearing what I got to say. I'm saying I'm not taking. You can keep trying to get on live. I'm not taking your request. But anyways, at the end of the day, people, especially in the social media world, it can be taken away from you. You know, all the subscribers, all the likes, all the cash apps, all that can be taken away from you, and that's why you have to humble yourself. You know, because it makes me laugh how more and more people become way more desensitized as they think as soon as they get on top that they can't get knocked down to the bottom. You know, the beautiful thing about the time that we're living in now is it's much more accessible. I'm not going to say easy, but it's much more accessible for one to start from zero and then end up being an economic hero online or in various different aspects in various different ways. But it's very easy for just as easy or as accessible as if you want to come up. It's very easy and accessible for one to get taken down all at the same time. So, and that's the problem with most people nowadays. They think that it's going to be forever. Nothing lasts forever because eventually we all die. But anything at the end of the day, you have to humble yourself and remember, hey, this could be taken away from me. So I implore everybody who's in the social media world making content. I'm not mad at you. Make the content. I make content. At this point, I do it because this is like it's my passion. It's therapy. It's fun. Sometimes I make money. Most of the times I don't, but I don't lose too much sleep over it. All right. But at the end of the day, remain humble. It could all be taken away from you. Do what you got to do at the end of the day and continuously to make your money moves. Because when you act like a jerk, a pompous, arrogant, conceited, you know what, it could be, not only could it be taken away from you, but you put yourself in a position where you burn a multitude of bridges to where you can't get employed at another job. That's why a lot of stuff that people say online is like, okay, you know, this is taken away from you. You could be put yourself in a position where you are homeless. You know that, right? A lot of times people just don't see it like that. And it is what it is. Okay? So humble yourself. At the end of the day, I'm ending this video off because I got stuff to do. Humble yourself. Remember that regardless of how high you are in life, it can be taken away from you. All right? People with a lot of businesses can lose their businesses with the economic downturn. We see what's happening, interest rates being high. People in the mortgage industry have lost a lot of money. People that are trying to sell their houses right now are not able to sell them. And if they are, it's not at the price that they want because a lot of buyers are just not buying. They're like, hey, it's too expensive. I might as well stay in the house where I got my 3 to 4% loan instead of me trying to get a loan that's 8% or more. Just doesn't make sense, you know. Same thing with a lot of the car dealers. You know, hey, they've had to humble themselves. I never forget, I went to a car dealership a couple of months ago for the heck of it because they had a promotional deal out and they ended up just giving a Target card. But that place was packed because they were like, hey, the whole purpose of them sending out the $25 Target gift card to people, but they were telling people, hey, you're going to win $5,000 to $10,000. You know, it was a promotional thing. It is what it is. But I could see how desperate the car dealers were, basically this car salespeople were trying to sell a car. And they're like, oh, they see me, this guy's got an older car. Oh yeah, so we're gonna be able to sell him a car just like that. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm 40 years old. I never had a car payment, and I'm gonna stretch that out to as long as possible because, especially in today's world, you see the people who don't have student loan payments. I'm not knocking you if you do. The people who don't have kids, I'm knocking you if you do. The people that don't have car payments, I'm not knocking you if you do. That money that goes to those three things, that money. Those three specific things can be put into a bank account, put into a multitude of investments. I'm not giving out investment advice, so that's why I'm not telling you what I invest my money in. Or it can be put into something like buying a house, or put into something in regards to starting a business. All right, because of people that know more about economics than they do about sports and video games, or celebrity culture. Those are a lot of those people, whether they're working people, self-employed people, or people who own a big business, are making money moves. All right, so on that note, do great different things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. And as I always say, make money moves, or you're going to live like a fool. Take care.